Hi folks, hope you're doing well. As you can see, it's 9 a.m. on the morning after with the Man United game. This is about Man United again anyway. That was a hint. So it's the 20th of September 2020. Yes, the morning after. Indeed, yes. Well, something I found interesting last night while watching the game yesterday is that they were actually saying that on the 10 occasions last season that United were down at half time, they lost. They weren't able to bring the game back and win. They lost every game. They weren't able to do anything about it. Now, what does that say about the manager? Is Ollie able to raise his team up to get the best out of these players? No. When has he ever done it? People falsely give him the credit for the second half of last season. It wasn't him. Because again, towards the end of the season, last season, United were poor. They were drained and they couldn't get it back. And the reason why they couldn't get it back is because the manager can't do it. Ollie isn't a person who can get the players to play well. Before Bruno came in, United were really poor. Consistently, really poor. At the end of the season beforehand, for the 2 months before the end of the season, United had looked, when Ollie first came in, as if they were playing good football. They could get into the top four. Things started going bad. Once it started going bad, Ollie could not bring it back. Last season, as I say, Ollie could not bring it back before January, before Bruno came in. Bruno was the one who was leading the team on the pitch, telling players where to go. That's down to the coaches and the manager to do that during the week. Clearly, they weren't doing it. Clearly, the coaches aren't up to it and the manager isn't up to it. Because when you get a new player coming in, who's now taking control, being the boss out on the pitch, because the actual boss hasn't got the foggiest idea what he's doing, it's not good. I, along with everyone else, when United first brought Ollie in, thought, well, it's a good move. It's an interesting move. Certainly, it's going to bring morale back a little bit because he was at the team. He was the smiley one, so it should help to bring morale back. But seriously, if it's only a stopgap until the end of the season, until you're going to be bringing in Poch or someone like that, then that makes sense. But Pochettino is by far the better option. Because look at Ollie. He's been successful at Molder. That's it. That's his level. He's now at a far, far bigger club with far, far bigger players that he's going to try and handle and manage and discipline. Amber, clean yourself later, donut. Try and do a video. Look, you'd be doing that for half an hour, I bet. If I hadn't stopped you, nutter. Have a rest, you just have food. There you go. Yeah, oh dear. But it's a situation with regards to the football side of it. Clearly, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not the man to take things forward. He can't. He hasn't got it in him to do so. But last season, towards the end of the season, we saw quite clearly that Lindelof was really poor, that the partnership between Maguire and Lindelof was shaky, to say the best. And yet, no new defenders coming in. Now, to me, the one thing Ollie has in his favour is that he's a fan of United. But as a fan of United, he's also failed the club. Because as a fan of United, the one thing you do, you go in and you speak to the bosses, you speak to Woodward, and you say, look, especially when you offer the contract at the first point, you make it part of the contract to say, you need to back me. Yeah, we are Man United. We should be challenging for the league. We should be challenging for honours. You need to back me. If we are miles away, we need to get back to where we need to be. You need to back me to do that. If you're not going to promise to do that, I walk now. Once they promise to do that, for you to sign a contract in a transfer market like this one that we're just having now, he needs to go to Woodward and say, look, I told you at the point where I signed the contract, you need to back me. We were so far away from Liverpool. Liverpool just won the league. They're our biggest rivals. That should be an insult to Man United. You should be far more determined now to close that gap than ever before. But you're not. You're moaning about, but coronavirus is costing us money. It's costing everyone money. That's the point. You've had it good. The Glazers have had it really good. They've taken £89 million at the club over the last 5 years. £89 million they've taken out. That's basically the money for Sancho. They should just give that £89 million back, and there you go. You go and buy Sancho. There you go. They can afford it. They basically got the club for nothing. So they can afford it. They don't need to take that much money out, do they, really? It's not looking good for the club, because even if they bring in players, they can do that and they can get a boost for bringing in players like they did in January. They got a boost. But the problem is, once that boost is over, you get back to the fact that you've got a manager who is youth training scheme, basically. You've got coaches that are youth training scheme as well. And this is at Manchester United, the biggest club in the world. So what are you doing with a manager and coaches that are basically training on the job? You should be having the best manager, the best coaches in the world should be at this club. They were when Fergie was here. We had the best coaches and the best manager. Now we've got YTS manager, YTS coaches. You've got to say, the management of the club has been so incredibly poor. I mean, even the point where, they're saying, well, we've got to be wiser now with regards to our transfers. You're the one who caused a mess in the past. We now have a squad that really the first 11 isn't that bad. They played badly last night, but I mean, again, Ollie, how did he not realise Palace have played an extra game? They're going to be on fire compared to us. They're going to be up for it. They're going to be on fire. They're going to be slightly fitter. So what are you going to work on? What are you going to do? How are you going to improve this? You're going to play one touch, two touch? Are you going to play long ball? What are you going to do? He did nothing. He had no idea, no tactics, no plan to try and beat that. Just sent the players out. You go figure it out, basically. To be a player for that club, it must be so demoralising. You come in front of the manager hoping for a plan, hoping that he's maybe learnt something from last season, and he still sends you out with no plan, no idea. Just go and do it. Good luck. God. I mean, people are now saying that Van der Beek is probably going to replace Pogba next to Bruno. Well, Bruno wasn't very good last night either. Pogba just had the virus. Yeah, it's like Flex was saying on Twitter that Pogba consistently giving it away, counter-attack so dangerous, just awful. Yeah, but Bruno was constantly giving it away. Constantly giving it away. Yeah? He's the golden boy. And he was still giving away. Goldbridge was saying that, and he was saying that Gary Neville was saying that Bruno was our best defender. But Bruno is not a defender. He's supposed to be an attacking midfielder. He was terrible in the job he was supposed to be doing. So, blame them all. They were all poor. But they were sent out without a plan. Simple. They've only been back a few days. I mean, when it comes to a situation like this, you send them out with the basics. You say, right, pass and move, pass and move, pass and move, pass and move. When you get the ball, your movement has to be there. Now, on occasions, when they got the ball and they were going forward, there was no movement at all from the forwards. Again, Rashford was awful. It didn't look as if he's going to be there. Now, I said at the end of last season, Rashford needs to either focus on his football or his charity work, one or the other. It seems as if he can't do both. His mind seems to be on something else when he's on the pitch. He needs to walk away from football if he's going to focus on charity. Just walk away. Because if your mind is on that charity work, then, or what your next step is with regards to the charity work, you're not going to do very well at football. Because really at football, you've got to practice. Your mind's got to be completely on that for you to do well at that. And you're not doing well. And of course, James, I mentioned that last night. James is a person who, he could, couldn't he? He could do it. He could be a good player. But he's got to be played on the left side where he's better. Where he can use his better foot and use his pace and come inside like he wants to. That's what he is. That's the footballer he is. So you either use him to the best of his abilities or you get rid of him. Simple. But they're going to take responsibility. And again, everyone was saying, we make them look like Real Madrid or Barcelona. Yeah. We were doing it last season as well. We were making bad teams look good by the way we played. We're making average teams look really good. And people were saying, but the other team really played well. No, they didn't. Not really. Did Palace play that well last night? Not really, no. No, they countered. They tried to hit us on the break quickly. But United on the ball were awful. Kept on giving the ball away. Now, when you're playing against a team like United were playing last night, it's easy to look good. Very easy. Because, you don't need to try that hard. United weren't exactly hitting Palace on the break when they broke. But we've got some of the quickest forwards in the league. We should have been hitting them on the break. It didn't happen, did it? Because, again, we were slow at going forwards. Partly because the defenders are also... Let's pass the ball sideways. Let's pass the ball back to the goalkeeper. Let's pass the ball to our midfield centre. Because, again, Bruno was coming too deep because of the fact that the defenders were just mucking around doing that. They naturally don't think about playing the ball long, playing a risky ball, because they don't want to lose the ball. So they try and play it safe, which means that someone else has to play a risk, or maybe their concentration isn't quite there because they're getting fed up with the way that the defenders are using the ball. So then, they make mistakes. So either way, the ball gets back to the other team. The defense is under pressure again. So try and use the ball wisely. Try and create quick attacks. So it's amazing. I mean, I personally, if I'd have been in control of a team where we hadn't played, where we weren't quite fit, but we were playing a team that was right up there, that's right, pass and move. 1 touch, 2 touch football, pass and move. Keep it simple. Move into space. You don't need to run your legs off all the time. Keep the ball, make them run, get them tired. They're fitter than we are, so get them tired rather than you running around like idiots. So how comes Ollie can't figure that out? It's a tactic. It might not be the best tactic, but it's a tactic. He come out with what exactly? What tactic did he come out with? Was there any clear tactic there last night? No. Was there clear tactics at the end of last season? No. Was there clear tactics before January? No. Was there clear tactics even after January? Not really, no. Give the ball to Bruno. Give the ball to Pogba. Let them do their magic. That was it. That was the plan. And I'm pretty sure the players figured it out themselves. But yeah, as I say, even as a fan, Ollie really should now be going to the board and saying, you invest or I walk. You can't label me with this bunch of rubbish. Yeah, it's an awful squad. First 11's good, but you brought in 1 player. We had a problem last season that whenever we didn't have our first 11, we went down in quality because the subs bench is just really, really poor. And you've done what? You've improved that by 1 player. Chelsea have brought in, 3 or 4 players? Arsenal are doing better now than what they were last season. Liverpool have added 2. City have added however many they've added. We're unlikely to get better than 3rd, but we're unlikely to get 3rd. Even Tottenham are bringing players in. One of the players we apparently wanted, but wouldn't pay the money again. Apparently, Tellez, the team he's with, want 20 million. United are willing to pay 15. Just pay the money. 20 million is nothing. There's lots of options to sell, apparently. There's lots of players who, teams who are offering to buy players at the moment. Or there's interest. Put it that way. There's apparently loads of interest. Well, it says Leeds will try to sign Daniel James if he becomes surplus of requirements. So there's 1. Valencia are keen to buy Sergio Romero. So there you go. There's another one. Then there's more down here. If I can just find, there was more. It wasn't just that. There was more. I just can't find them all. I'm sure there was more than that, but of the ones where we can sell players. But even that's not bad. And we still sell Smalling. Smalling can go. All right. Still get rid of him. I mean, again, Roma, I've just got to accept they're going to pay money. Yeah. United could look at Roma. Who have they got that we could do with? I don't think they've got anyone particularly. But yeah, they could look. And they could try and actually do a part exchange with someone else at Roma, maybe. Don't know. Of course, that'll have to be a player that Roma want to let go. And the problem is, if Roma want to let a player go, is that player going to be good enough for United? Probably not. In which case, Roma will have to stump out the cash. But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? Really. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle this season, because if we don't get the players in to create that boost that we need, and we have a manager who really can't turn things around, then it's going to be a huge struggle. As simple as that. It doesn't become any more simple than that because, Where are we expecting changes to come or improvements to come? Yes, the squad can improve a little bit, but this is the way they finished last season. They were poor. See, if they were poor last season, they've started this season poor, understandably, really. They're just continuing where they left off. So improvement is going to come from where? Who's going to improve it? We're expecting Bruno to help the team to rise up and get better. Or Pogba? Is it up to them? They're players, they're not managers, they're not coaches. Is it up to them to do that, to make that happen? I don't think so. But it looks as if it is up to them, doesn't it, really? It shouldn't be. It should be up to the manager to do that. But there you go. Let's say that's it. Nothing more can be said. It's the morning after, and yeah, it's a pretty damning picture. I don't think a lot of people are just blaming the players, saying you've got to blame the players. If the players are sent out there, it's not under Jose. The players were sent out often to defend. There was no attacking plan. And quite often in games, when the team was struggling, the players just basically took over and said, look, we need to start attacking. And they did. They started playing better because they thought, sod this. We're not going to play his way anymore. It's not working. Let's go and play the way that we know we should play. And then they started looking better. So players sent out without a plan, without the right sort of tactics or any tactics really, comes down to the manager. And then again, at half time, the manager should be dragging players off because you're losing. But if you're playing that badly, you've got players playing that badly, take them off. Who cares? I mean, if you get injuries and you end up with 9 players, tough. The players you've taken off, they need a clip round the ear roll, so that taking them off is a clip round the ear roll. And it's a bit of a clip round the ear roll to the team if they're playing so badly that you've got to take players off at half time. That you would rather leave until later in the game in case of injuries. So make your decision. Do what you need to do. As simple as that really is. It's what you've got to do. He's got to get tough as a manager. I mean, like you had that, what was his name? What team was he manager of? I nearly had it. He managed a team that's now been relegated, or was relegated a few seasons ago. What was his name? Do you remember where the manager kept the players out on the pitch at half time? Berating them. He got in trouble for that, but he shouldn't have done. I think what he did was absolutely fair. They were terrible. Was it Burnley? Wasn't Burnley, was it? I think Burnley is still in the league as well. Might have been Burnley, I'm not sure. Don't know. But anyhow, I think the manager did the right thing there when he did that. And, I think something like that is possibly due. I mean, if the players are playing so badly, if the manager's sending them out with tactics and a way to play and they're not doing it, then he has got to be ruthless with them. Oh, absolutely. He's got to be sending some of those players to the under-18s team. So you train with them for the next month. Right, I sent you out. I told you what to do. You did none of it. You took no notice of what I said at all. You go and play with them. Right? But he's not doing that. We don't expect the manager to be throwing the players under the bus after the game. No. But it is very much a case where he needs to be ruthless with them after the match and say to them, yeah, come on. You have a job to do when you go out there. You're a Man United player. There is a level that you should be playing at. You got nowhere near that level. Nowhere near. It's got nothing to do with fitness. Really isn't. I mean, the fact that your touch was poor, your passing was poor, your control was poor, everything was poor. Your running being a bit poor, well, that could be down to fitness, but there was so much of your game that was poor. It shouldn't be. Your technique should be there. You've had a few days of training. Your technique should be pretty much back by now. After that few days, it doesn't take long. I've not played football for years. If I go and train for a couple of days, kicking the ball around, my technique comes back very quickly. I don't need tons of training to get that. Fitness, different matter. Legs at 51, they're nowhere near there. But they're not going to come back. It's as simple as that. So I need to adjust to that. And now I've got to play a completely different game to what I used to play when I was younger. But technique is something that doesn't go. Your ability to pass, your ability to control the ball, that comes back very quickly. Muscle memory. That comes back very fast. But with the players yesterday, there was none of that either. Their muscle memory are gone. They were just struggling with the basics. Same as they were at the end of the season. The basics just weren't there. That's down to the manager. Again, it's when you haven't got clear instruction when you go out on the pitch, you can struggle because you're trying to overthink things. So when you're trying to overthink, you're controlling the ball and even your passing can go awry because you're trying to create something where there is nothing, where the players around you don't seem to know what they're doing. So they're not making the runs they should be making. They're not doing what they should be doing. So you, as a player with the ball, you're confused as crap, trying to work out what the heck you're supposed to be doing here. And of course, while you're doing that, you're going to lose the ball. You're going to be dispossessed. You're going to be tackled. You're going to try and pass the ball, try to create something, but trying to be too clever, and you're going to be losing the ball again. With clear instructions, you know what your job is. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You just do your flipping job. That's what you do. But that's down to the manager. The manager has to be the one to do that and to push that and to make sure the players understand that. He's not doing it. That's up to him. He's got to be doing that, but he's not doing it. So, Well, there you go. You take care. God bless, and I will speak to you soon. Bye-bye. Let's hope that I'm wrong. And that Ollie can prove that finally that he may be a Premiership quality manager. He didn't prove it at Cardiff. He has not proven it at Man United. But you never know. Maybe God can bless him with a wisdom that is far beyond the level that he's got right now. And he can start using that to become a good manager. You never know. You take care. Bye-bye.